Buenos dias. This morning I'm in Sacsayhuaman, otherwise known as Sexy Woman. Sacsayhuaman was built as the head of the cougar of the city of Cusco. Cusco is in the shape of a cougar, but the ruler at the time, his name is escaping me, but he built the fortress of Sacsayhuaman as the head of the cougar to overlook the city. So let's walk around and take a look. It's one of the oldest Inca ruins, and much of it was destroyed by the Spaniards when they came. They pretty much took any of the rocks they could and used them, repurposed them, if you will, to build their own structures in the colonial style in the city of Cusco and elsewhere. Oh, this is a great little view. Let me show you this. Looking down, you see the symbols on the mountain over there? Let me just zoom in so you can see that. From this viewpoint, you can look down and see a little bit of the city of Cusco, but across the mountain. Viva el Peru! So I'm just going to walk around. I've skipped the ideas of hiring a tour guide, as I've said previously. I don't want to tell you all the details because you can look at it yourself, but I'll just give you my perspective as I walk around. Well, this is obviously the main community area. It's really large. And there were thousands of people who lived here. And this big area, I know, was the community festival and ceremony area. I do know that when they built this, the laborers they used, they were pretty good to the laborers. They didn't work them to death. They had them working in teams and in rounds. And if somebody got sick, unlike the Egyptians and other cultures, they didn't beat them and make them work until they dropped dead. They replaced them with other workers until they got better. So they had teams and they worked in cycles. And they were well fed and well cared for. From where I'm standing now, I'm looking at an incredible line of huge granite boulders stacked together. So these rocks were most of the ones that were taken. These remain, but you can see, they took the rest of them here. They would have filled those in. But the Spaniards, at some point they tried to do some reconstruction, but they could never match what the Inca did. This is an example of that. This is the reconstruction. And this. And this. Well, actually, you can see here, this is reconstructed. But look at the difference. And then look at this. And interestingly, they had waterways and channels. You see that all around. And the Incas, they were very cognizant of the flow of water. And there were no water shortages. You're not allowed to go down there, but it's a little area that must have been used for storage, and doesn't appear to be a habitat. Now this is an example of the roofing and superstructures that were built on top of the rocks, the rock walls, the foundations, thatched. Now you would have seen thatching and roofing, houses, guard towers all over. Look at that. Those perfectly rectangular blocks right down there. And I've mentioned this before, but it's important to note that these blocks of granite have been so expertly created and placed that they've survived countless earthquakes. Were all modern structures built after the Inca weren't able to survive the multitudes of earthquakes this area has encountered. From here, you get a really good view of the city of Cusco. But I think there's a better view over there, and we'll head there. Well, this area right here, Saycomarca, this used to be a huge tower. There were two other towers located around here, and they would communicate with each other. They were watchtowers. And there's the airport. It's a tricky landing because you have to come through those mountains, that pass, and come in. We didn't make it the first time. There was too much wind shear. Let's see if Latam is gonna make it. I think I'm catching it. There you go. They go out across, do a series, and come in through there. Craziest thing. The people you meet when you're traveling alone. I met this lady just briefly. We were talking about the symbols on the mountain and what they meant, and neither of us knew. And we said, good luck, have a great day. Just a quick conversation. But she came back to me and she said, I asked the tour guide, and he said the symbol was the symbol of Peru. You know, it's on the flag and on the coins. I said, oh, thank you very much. We parted ways and walked a little bit further and ended up at the same viewpoint. And I kept thinking about her, and I thought, I bet she's a flight attendant. So when I saw her again, I said, hey, we meet again. And I said, are you a flight attendant? And she looked at me and her eyes got big and she said, yes. I said, I knew you were a flight attendant. Anyway, she flies for KLM. Well, one thing I've noticed, the steps are really steep. And it's peculiar to me that the steps would be so steep for people of such short stature. Around every corner there's something new to see. From left to right, magical and marvelous creations. Human ingenuity beyond compare. That is the Inca. The Inca worked hard, but they treated their workers well. If a worker got sick, they would replace them with another worker. They worked in teams. There were hundreds and hundreds of teams. and they would take turns in different shifts building all the Inca Empire. These workers were treated very well. They were artists, and they created works of art, works so fine and so precisely created that they fit together like puzzle pieces, so tightly that you can't even fit a single piece of paper between these two boulders, or any of the boulders. The Inca created works that will last more than a lifetime, more than many lifetimes. In fact, when you and I are gone, and when our children are gone, and our children's children are gone, the work of the Inca will remain. From Cristo Blanco, you have an incredible view of Cusco. And right down there is Plaza de Armas, and that's where I'm staying. In the cathedral. I met a choir from Washington, D.C. and another choir from D.C. and they're singing there tomorrow night. But I'll miss them because I'm leaving for Arequipa tomorrow night. But they're very nice. And the symbol there, I think I mentioned before, but that is the national symbol of Peru. It's about a mile down. So I'll check back in a little while. Okay, so down these steps, actually I guess I'm in the San Blas area of Cusco. It's definitely pretty and quaint. Artisanal ice cream. Crafts. Look at this. It's a workshop. It's definitely cute. It's so funny how girls pose when they're taking pictures or selfies. It's always the same pose. One leg up, head tilted.
Ah, ya claro, sí, mira.
Yeah, the San Blas area is really neat. It's definitely more bohemian than where I'm staying. Oh, Spanish school. Oh, look at that. So I'm at Greenpoint, a vegan restaurant. We'll see what it's like. But so far it's really nice. The waiter is like on top of it. The menu looks really good. I'm going to get seafood rice, but it's vegan, so they're using sauteed oyster mushrooms. I talked to a couple when they were walking out, and they said it's the best food they've had in Cusco so far. Of course, I think they meant vegan. But I've enjoyed vegan food in Lisbon and some other places, so I'm kind of excited to start. I'm going to begin with a lemon and ginger kombucha. Okay, so my new motto is when in doubt, follow the nuns. I figure they must be going to the cathedral. And that's where I'm staying here. Seems right.